The NFL offseason, where you can get traded, you can ask for a trade, you can re-sign to your team, or you can retire right here. So I haven't talked to you guys about football since the Super Bowl. And as you guys know, I did pick Chiefs money line for that Super Bowl, and I got stomped on 40-6. That's how it feels, bro. It feels like I was out there playing the Super Bowl. I got stomped on 40-6. Chiefs are done, bro. I'll never bet on them again. I'm good. Now let's talk about the winning side. The Eagles ended up re-signing and extending Barkley. He got an uptick in money I saw recently coming into the offseason after winning the Super Bowl and having a crazy 2,000-yard season. They also paid middle linebacker Zach Bond after the Super Bowl, and he had a crazy breakout playoff run. I'm not an Eagles fan. I'm just glazed. I do think the Eagles every single offseason, they're somehow just winning the offseason. So we're going to continue to monitor the Eagles, but right now they're doing what they have to do. They're getting their guys paid who are impact players. They just make every right move. Howie Roseman is the GOAT GM right now. So that's all I could really say about the fucking Eagles, man. Now, the Chiefs are interesting because they did get smoked in the Super Bowl, and they ended up getting rid of Joe Tooney. If you guys know, he's a all-pro guard. Now, the reason the Chiefs did that is because they want to compensate for Mahomes. I think his money goes up this year. It increases a lot more, so they have to get rid of Joe Tooney. They have to clear up space. They only got a fucking 4th-round pick. So it's not even about the value they're getting. It has to only be about the money. We can't say that trade is perfectly fine. We got an all-pro type of guard for a 4th-round pick. I'm telling you, the 16.5 mil, 17.5 mil they got off the books, that's big for the Chiefs. I know he's a really good guy, though. He's a really good guard, so it's gonna affect them. I don't really know how I feel about the move. I don't think it was that good of a move. Getting rid of Joe Tooney, I don't know, man. They signed D-Hop to a bad contract. He's not worth that much money. You can be saving that money from, DeAndre Hopkins is not a game changer anymore. You could have saved that money and let him just be who he was before. To me, it just doesn't make sense, man. Now, I wanted to go ahead and talk about the wide receiver market because the quarterback market is there. There's somewhat of a quarterback market, but the names aren't as big as the wide receivers. The wide receivers got to come first. We're talking about Jamarr Chase, who still hasn't been paid. He's commanding up to 40 mil a year. I don't know how the dude is not paid yet. He just came off the Triple Crown. Joe Burrow is paid. They franchise tagged T. Higgins 2 straight seasons. They franchise tagged T. Higgins. I know that dude's got to be fucking sick, man. He's like, damn, another year I got to go perform. But you know what? I don't blame the Bengals, bro. He's had 2,000-yard seasons. Last year, he didn't get it. Injuries. The year before that, he didn't get it. Injuries. Rookie year, he didn't get it. I don't know if he was injured. I'm not even gonna speak on that. But T. Higgins, bro, you gotta prove it. Can you stay healthy the whole year? Can you do it? Can you find a way? Because at that point, then they got no right to just disrespect you like this, bro. But if you're healthy all season long and you put up 1,200 yards still next to Jamarr Chase, they're going to pay you, my guy. Speaking of the Bengals, still, I saw that Trey Hendrickson recently just asked to seek a trade, or it was just that he wasn't gonna resign. But either way, that's a big loss for them, man. Like people were saying all season, the Bengals came in, they went 9-8 just like they did the previous year. This time, your defense is dog shit. You still have no money because you paid Joe Burrow. You still have to pay T. Higgins and Jamarr Chase, which they're trying to do. They did the franchise tag on Higgins. That is official. That's official already. Chase hasn't signed. Now, that contract talk, I don't really know what's going on. I know him and his team wanted 40 mil. He thinks he's the best receiver in the league. He just won the Triple Crown. You can't even blame the guy. But the Bengals, they're definitely in a rough spot, man. Next, I wanted to talk about Cooper Kupp because Rams did extend Matt Stafford. I know it was only a 1-year deal, but they still did extend him. I heard that Cooper Kupp is not going to be coming back this year. It's super highly unlikely. I personally think he would have a fun time going to the Patriots just because Drake May does need a receiver. Obviously, he's not the same Cooper Kupp from the Triple Crown year. I know that. We all know that. He's been injured multiple times. But I do think him being with the Patriots would be a good fit. I'm not going to lie. That might be a solid fit. Next guy coming up is Chris Godwin. I really do think the Bucs are going to re-sign him. He did have the crazy ankle injury to end the year, so he wasn't really playing or anything. But he wants 25 mil, and I've seen talks that the Bucs are going to try and offer him a 2-year, 26 mil. So, I mean, I hope he takes it. I hope he accepts it. That's pretty much what DeAndre Hopkins got. That's 13 per. That's not bad, man. I mean, I do think Godwin is way more valuable right now than D-Hop, or I don't know. D-Hop is pretty old to me. He don't seem like that guy anymore, man. So if you guys don't know, DK Metcalf recently asked for a trade from the Seahawks, and this is super recent. I think this was within the last 48 hours. So this is crazy. To me, DK, it's a tough situation just because the Seahawks are looking for a 1st and a 3rd, and I just don't think DK Metcalf is commanding a first-round pick, but I could be wrong. He could have his best year ever with another quarterback besides Geno Smith, Russell Wilson. So if he goes to a better team, then at that point, yeah. But I can't really like speak too much on it just because, like, what if he doesn't get traded? A first and a third, that's a lot of value for one guy. I don't see a team like in the top 10 doing that at all. I don't even think I see a team in like the top 14 giving up that pick to get Metcalf, and then you still got to give up a third. Yeah, you get one good guy and then you got your second round pick, but I don't know, man. First, I don't know if I'm giving up a first for DK Metcalf, bro. That's just me personally. I'm gonna say that DK does get traded. It's just not at that value price. It's not gonna be for a first and a third. They might get a second and like a fifth, or a second and a fourth. That might be what happens there to get DK Metcalf on your team. Now at that price point, there's gonna be a shit ton of teams interested, like the Chargers. Maybe if the Chargers are like a low 20, maybe you give up that first to get DK Metcalf. But at that point, I don't know. There's a lot of really good players in this draft this year. I don't know if giving up a first is the move, but like I said, a second and a fourth or a second and a fifth at that point, then yeah, I would give something up to try and get DK on my squad. I wanted to talk about the quarterbacks because there's a few that have a interesting like lore to them, which is like Aaron Rodgers. I don't really know where he's going. Stafford already re-signed to the one-year deal to the Rams. We already talked about that earlier. Justin Fields, I think he does re-sign with the Steelers on a cheap deal. I do think they're still going to be hunting for QBs just because Fields is not going to be like totally that guy, but I wouldn't be mad if they just played him out the whole year upcoming to try and really get like a shit pick for the next draft. The Steelers have just been in a shit spot forever, bro. Like ever since they lost Big Ben, they've just been in this dog shit loop of Mike Tomlin getting you to 8-8, and they gave us an extra game, so now it's 9-8, 9-8, 10-7, 10-7. Like, oh goodness, man, Steelers are crazy, bro. I can't even. It's hard to predict anything with. Now, Sam Darnold is a super interesting name just because I do think he has some value. He did revive his career this year. The Vikings didn't give him the franchise tag, so he's definitely going to be unrestricted free agent, and he's going to be able to sign anywhere he wants. I do believe the Raiders have some interest in him. I think the Raiders would be like just a mid-fit for him. I mean, they don't really have anything cool. I don't know. They're in Vegas, though, so if you want to go play for Vegas, Darnold, go ahead and go play for the Raiders. I genuinely think that's going to be his landing spot. Like, if I could put some money on it, I would put Darnold to the Las Vegas Raiders with Pete Carroll. I think that's the move there. Now, if we're talking Russell Wilson, damn, man, I think Russell Wilson really only goes to a team like Giants or the Jets as like a fucking mentor. I just don't think he has it in him, man. I don't know. I don't want to see another year of Russ starting. I don't. I'm being honest. I'm good off that. Now, the most interesting QB left to talk about is Aaron Rodgers. Now, where he goes, no idea. I have no idea where he's going to go. He can literally go anywhere. And I heard that he's going to bring Devontae Adams with him. He was already released from the Jets. The Rodgers situation is kind of crazy because he's really got a receiver, an all-time receiver, just following him around. So, I mean, whoever gets Rodgers is going to have a good chance to at least try and compete because I know he wants to at least try and compete too. If I could pick any team for Aaron Rodgers and Devontae to go to, honestly, it would have to be the Titans or something, man. I don't know where else they're going to go. As a package unit, I think that's the only team that would take that. But that's pretty much all I got for you guys today. I just wanted to talk about the NFL offseason. They do have a good chance at keeping up with the NBA offseason. They do have some good trades and some good stuff that happens. I know Myles Garrett asked for the trade. I don't know if that's going to happen. It's not looking like it, especially if they take Abdul Carter. If they take Abdul with Myles Garrett down there on the trenches on that D-line, oh man, it's gonna look great. I will be back. I'm trying to post more, so I'll try and have a video out Tuesday and then a Friday again next week. But I appreciate it. Leave a like. These take a long time to edit. It's just me, myself, and I. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.